The Sarasota April market update for 2025 versus 2026. The Sarasota market did not crash. It did not disappear. And it definitely did not stop moving. That's for sure. But it did change. And the biggest mistake buyers and sellers are making right now is looking at the market as one big number. Because what is happening under $1 million is not the same as what's happening over $1 million. What is happening with single family homes is not the same as what is happening with condos. That's for sure. And what is happening with active listings is very different from what is actually going under contract and closing. So today we are breaking down April 2025 compared to April of 2026, not just the headlines, the real movement, active listings, pending listings, sold listings, single family homes, condos, townhouses, villas, over $1 million, under $1 million, and by the end of this, you will understand where buyers have leverage, where sellers still have strength, and why the best opportunities in this market are not always where people think they are. Get ready, buckle up. Let's get into it. All right. When you compare April 2025 to April of 2026, the first thing that stands out is this. The market became more selective. This is the best word for it. Not dead, not booming, selective. April 2025, the luxury single family market over $1 million had 64 sold listings. The average close price was about $2.02 million. All right. And the average seller received roughly 93% of the list price. In April of 2026, that same luxury single family segment had 86 sold listings with an average close price of $2.58 million and a median close price of about $1.9 million. That is important because if someone says luxury is not selling, that is not true. You're operating on bad information. Luxury is selling, but is selling differently. The average days to contract for luxury single family homes moved from 79 days in 2025, April of course, 100 to 103 days in April of 2026. That means buyers did not disappear. They just got more patient. And patient buyers create a very different market. They do not panic, they compare, they negotiate, they look at insurance, they look at conditions, they look at location. They look at whether the home is truly worth the number being asked. That is why pricing matters more than it did in faster markets. Now, let's look at condos over $1 million. In April of 2025, luxury condos had 26 sold listings and an average close price of about $1.93 million. All right, and an average sale price to list price ratio of 93%. In April of 2026, luxury condos had 30 sale listings and average close price at $2.07 million and still averaged around 93% list price for the sale. So again, the market did not disappear, but here's the difference. The average days to contract for luxury condos jumped from 77 days in 2025 to 148 days in 2026. That is a major shift. That tells us buyers are still willing to buy luxury condos. They are taking much longer to make the decision. That usually happens when buyers have more choices, more concerns, or more negotiating power, right? And in the condo market, that makes sense. Buyers are asking more questions about association fees. They're asking about reserves, and they should be. They're asking about assessments, and they should be. They're asking about insurance. They're asking about building conditions. They're asking about, you guessed it, milestone inspections. So the condo buyer in 2026 is not just buying the view, although there's some pretty nice ones out there. They are buying the building. They are buying the financial health of the association. They are buying confidence. And if they do not feel confident, they're going to wait. Now, let's move under $1 million because this is where the volume is. In April of 2025, single-family homes under $1 million had 295 sales sold listings with a median close price of approximately $500,000 and a median price to contract 34 days. In April of 2026, single-family homes under $1 million had 265 sold listings with a median close price of $510,000 and the same median days on contract, 34 days. That is one of the most important points of this entire update. The number of sales dipped, but pricing did not fall apart. Median price actually moved slightly higher, and days to contract stayed almost exactly the same. Interesting. That tells us that under $1 million single-family market is still the strongest and most stable part of this Sarasota market. Why? Well, because that is where the largest buyer pool exists. More people can afford it. More families are looking in that range. More relocation buyers are searching there. More move-up buyers are trying to stay below the psychological $1 million mark. And when a property is priced correctly, shows well, and has the right condition, it still moves. Now, that does not mean sellers can do whatever they want, like maybe you used to be able to a few years ago. They cannot. The buyer is still careful, but the segment has more depth than the luxury market. Now look at under $1 million condos. In April of 2025, condos under $1 million had 94 sales, right? With a median close price of $315,000, big disparity from single family, and a median sale price to list price ratio of 96%. In April of 2026, that jumped to 140 sold listings, but the median close price moved to $299,500, and the median sale price to list price ratio moved to 95%. That is a very different story. More condos sold, but at a lower median price, and with slightly more negotiation. That means buyers are active, but value matters. They are not avoiding condos completely. They're just being extremely selective. There's that word again. The condo that is clean, priced right, financially sound, and easy to understand can still sell. The condo with uncertainty, high fees, poor conditions, or aggressive pricing is going to sit. And that is exactly why you cannot look at condo sales volume alone and say, the condo market's fine. You have to ask what is selling, at what price, and after how long. Now let's look at villas. That's sometimes style or is mentioned as condos with villas. Under $1 million, villas were very consistent year over year. In April of 2025, there were 54 villa sales with an average close price of about $381,519. In April of 2026, there were 55 villa sales with an average close price of about $351,751. That tells us villas are still moving, but buyers are pushing value. The count stayed almost the same, but the average price came down. That usually means buyers are choosing more affordable options or sellers are adjusting to meet the market. Villas can be a very attractive category because buyers often want low maintenance living without the same feel as high-rise condo. For retirees, seasonal residents, and buyers that want simplicity, villas still make sense. But again, price matters. Now, townhouses under $1 million. In April of 2025, there were 24 sold townhouses with a median price of about $392,500. In April of 2026, there were 25 sold townhouses with a median close price of $355,000. Again, very similar transaction volume, but lower median pricing. That tells us the demand is still there, but the buyer is more price conscious. Townhomes are still a value play. They can work well for buyers who want more space than condo, but do not want to cost the maintenance of a single family home. Keep in mind, they don't typically need those milestone surveys too, that it's holding the condo market back. Insider tip. But if the price gets too close to a single family alternative, buyers hesitate. Now let's talk about active inventory because this is where the biggest shift shows up. In April of 2025, active under $1 million single family inventory and data showed only one listing with 401 days on market. Okay. In April of 2026, active under $1 million single family inventory showed 173 listings with a median price of $598,000 and a median average days on market of 41 days. That is a huge difference. So in 2026, market has more visible inventory, more choices, more competition among sellers, and that changes buyer behavior. When buyers have more homes to compare, they slow down. They look at the price per square foot. They look at the upgrades. They look at the location. They look at the roof's age. They look at the insurance. They compare one listing against another. And that is why in 2026, sellers need to understand they are not just competing against recent solds. They're competing against everything else active right now. And if the house down the street has a better kitchen, newer roof, better lot, better floor plan, and more realistic price, buyers will use that as leverage. Now, active condos under $1 million tell us a similar story. In April 2025, active condo inventory under 1 million showed 6 listings with an average days on market of 380 days. Whew. In April 2026, the active condo inventory under 1 million showed 151 listings with an average days on market of 42 days. That's more like it. That means buyers have options, a lot more options. And when condo buyers have options, the weakest listings get exposed quickly. That does not mean every condo is in trouble. It means the market is separating the strong from the weak. The strongest listings are easy to understand. The pricing makes sense. The fees are explainable. The association story is clean. The condition is strong. The location is strong. The lifestyle is clear. The weaker listings create confusion, and confused buyers do not write strong offers. Now, over $1 million active inventory is also telling us something important. In April of 2025, active luxury single family inventory showed a listing price of $3.87 million and average days on market of 369 days. In April of 2026, active luxury inventory showed about 76 listings, all right, with a listing price of $2.86 million and median average days on market about 40 days. So what does that mean? It means there were far more luxury single family options available in 2026 snapshot that can create more opportunity for buyers. But it also means sellers have more competition. And in the luxury market, competition is not just about price. It is about presentation. It is about the story. It is about architecture. It's about lot quality. It's about condition. It's about whether the home feels current. The luxury buyer is not just asking, can I afford this? They're asking, is this special enough to justify the number? And I'm hearing that a bit. This is a completely different question. Luxury buyers are not typically forced to buy. They buy when the property feels right. That is why overpricing in the luxury market can be dangerous. You are going to pay. You're going to pay in the luxury market, you overprice. Because buyers are willing to wait for the right one. Now look, at active luxury condos in April 2025, right? Active luxury condos, their average days on market were 389 days. In April 2026, the active luxury condos, the average list price was 2.67 million, right? And median average days on market was 41 days. Again, a much larger active sample in 2026. That tells us the luxury condo buyer has more options. And when the buyers have more options, they become more selective. Now let's talk about pending listings, because pending activity gives us a read on where the market is going. Under $1 million single family pending listings in April of 2026, they were strong. There were 112 pending single family homes under $1 million with a median list price of about $139,000 and a median days on to contract of 43 days. That is a healthy signal. Okay, it means buyers are still writing contracts in the affordable and mid-market range, but they are not necessarily rushing. The median days to contract are not 7 days. It's not 10 days. It's 43 days. That tells you the market is active but measured. For condos under $1 million, there were 40 pending listings in April of 2026 with a median price of $344,000 and median days to contract is 75 days. That is slower than single family. And that makes sense. Condo buyers are taking more time. For villas under $1 million, there were 25 pending listings with a median day to contract of 75 days. For townhouses under $1 million, there were 10 pending listings with a median day to contract of 60 days. So under $1 million, the pattern is pretty clear. Single family is the strongest. Townhouses and villas are steady, and condos are active but sensitive. Now, over $1 million, the pending numbers get very interesting. In April of 2026, luxury single family pending listings had 46 properties with an average list price of $2.53 million and a median days to contract is 64 days. That is a solid sign for luxury single family. It means there's still buyer activity above $1 million, not just closing from older contracts. Actual pending activity. For luxury condos, there are 28 pending listings with an average list price of about $3.35 million. Days to contract of 22 days. That is one of the most surprising parts of the data because while sold luxury condos in 2026 showed strong, longer days to contract, the pending luxury condo snapshot showed a much faster median days to contract. That could suggest that the right luxury condo product is still moving quickly. Not all luxury condos, the right ones. That is the market we are in. The right property still gets attention. The wrong price gets ignored. The right conditions gets activity. The wrong story creates hesitation. The right association, details build confidence. Uncertainty creates delay. Now let's zoom out. What does this mean for sellers? It means the old strategy does not work anymore. People are not paying in advance for the price of your home. The old strategy was list high, wait for a buyer, assume low inventory will protect you. That worked better when buyers had fewer options. But in 2026, buyers have more choices. They have more data. They are more cautious. And they are more willing to walk away. So sellers have to win in 3 places: price, condition, confidence. Price means you cannot just look at what the neighborhood got 2 years ago. Doesn't matter. You need to look at what the buyers are choosing right now. Really matters. Condition means your property has to compete visually and emotionally. Buyers buy off of emotion. Confidence means buyers need to understand what they're buying. That is especially true with condos. If there are fees, explain them, right? If there are reserves, understand them. If there are assessments, disclose them clearly. If the building has a strong story, use it. Do not leave buyers guessing because guessing creates doubt. Doubt creates delay. Now for buyers, this market creates opportunity, but not every listing is an opportunity. A home that has been sitting is not automatically a deal. Sometimes it is overpriced. Sometimes it has condition issues. Sometimes the seller is unrealistic. Sometimes the market is rejecting the property for a reason. The opportunity is knowing the difference. A stale listing with a motivated seller and a correctable issue or issues could be a great opportunity. A stale listing with an unrealistic seller and major problems might be just a big waste of time. That is where strategy matters. For buyers under $1 million, especially single family buyers, the market is still competitive and the right price point. You may have more options than before, but the best homes still move. If a home is priced well, in good condition, and located in a desirable area, waiting too long, that can still cost you. For luxury buyers, patience can be powerful. There's more room to compare, more room to negotiate, more room to study the market. But the best luxury properties are still not sitting forever when they are positioned right. Now, here's the big takeaway. April 2025 was a market where the sellers still had more memory of the fast market. April 2026 is a market where buyers have more control over the conversation. But control does not mean domination. It means balance. It means the buyers can ask questions. It means the seller has to justify the price. It means the property has to earn the offer. That is a healthier market in many ways. But it is also a harder market for anyone who's guessing. Don't be guessing here. If you are selling, guessing on price can cost you time and money. And if you are buying, guessing on value can cost you money. And if you're looking at the market as one big headline, you're probably missing the real story, because the story is different in every segment. Under $1 million, single family homes are still moving. Condos are moving, but with more pressure. Selective. Villas and townhouses are steady, but price sensitive. Luxury single family homes are selling, but buyers are taking more time. Luxury condos are split. Some sit, but the right ones still move quickly. That is the market. Selective, segmented, strategic. And if you understand that, you already are ahead of most buyers and sellers. That's for certain. So, if you're looking at Sarasota in 2026, do not ask, is it a buyer's market or seller's market? That question is too broad. Ask this instead. What segment am I in? What is competing against me? How long are properties taking to move? How close are sellers getting to list price? And is the market rewarding this type of property right now? Because that is where the truth is, not in the headlines, not in the average, not in someone's opinion, in the actual behavior of buyers and sellers. And right now, the Sarasota market is sending a very clear message. Good properties still sell. Overpriced properties sit. Buyers have more leverage. Sellers still have opportunity. And the people who understand the difference are the ones who are going to win.